Hello, friends. You know what? Sometimes I don't want to be happy. Sometimes I don't want to look on the bright side. I don't want to sing the sun will come out tomorrow. Sometimes I just need somebody to hold my ponytail and let me emotionally vomit on them. Sometimes the anger needs to come out and the sadness. We're going to talk about how to support somebody in that today. I'm Ann Ferguson, and I am an author. I am a course creator. Turns out I'm like a digital creator. Let's get into this with you for a minute. I'm gonna lead with a little story about my daughter when my mom passed away. Whew. Okay, my mom passed away on March 1st in 2020. We had a funeral for her, thank goodness, on March 7th. And then on March 14th, the world shut down. And I was grieving pretty heavily. And I was taught, like most of you, that when you're really negative or bad or sad, to have some faith and pray and, don't burden others. You're supposed to bear one another's burdens. You're not supposed to burden them. So don't dump all your stuff. Just keep it to yourself. Christ will help you. It wasn't working. It was really, really rough. It didn't matter. I was so numb. I didn't want to read scriptures. I didn't want to pray. I wanted my mom. It sucked. My daughter, who lives in Oregon, used to call me because she was a teacher and her world turned upside down because of COVID. And all of a sudden she was teaching online, but she was also at home. So she'd call and we'd talk. It was, in that way, one of the best things of COVID is that relationship and just, us calling and talking. And this one day she called and I said, "Oh, it is not a good day." I said, "I don't think it's a good day to talk. We can talk another time. I'm not doing so well." I was totally living by my upbringing and the rules. The rules are don't talk, don't trust, don't feel. Well, I was doing the don't talk part because I could not feel. I was just feeling all sorts of feelings. And the things she said to me hit my heart in a huge way. And it just kind of shocked me because here I am doing the right thing, right? Saying, let's not talk. It doesn't matter. I'm fine, but I'm not. I'll talk to you later when I'm happier. She goes, Mom. And I go, what? She goes, it's okay that it sucks, right? I went, what? She goes, it's okay that it sucks. Like it's a sucky thing you're going through, Mom. You're an extrovert and you're locked in your house with 4 walls or your little tiny, tiny backyard with a wall. This sucks, Mom. You know what? I can handle it sucking with you. How about that? We sat down and just talked, and it wasn't even a great big thing. It was just she stood with me. Like she stayed with me in my grief. She wasn't trying to get me out of my grief. She wasn't telling me how I was going to feel better on the other side of my grief. She just saw me and let me grieve. It was one of the most powerful, validating moments of my life. She taught me something that day about validation and about what we're actually in need of. Part of the problem that I was having was that I wasn't seen. I wasn't just seen, I wasn't heard because I wasn't talking to anybody. And so my grief wasn't understood. It was like I was passing through this horrible time without any comfort. We are naturally programmed, especially when we become parents, to when somebody is distraught and fussing and really crying and uncomfortable. We're taught to pick them up and cradle them and hold them and bounce them and feed them and walk all night with them if necessary as they are fussing, in order to help them be calm. Now, if you've watched my other lives, I've talked a lot about, what they feel is just what they feel, and you can't actually feel for them, so don't jump into that. And we talked about not walking away. Well, I want to talk about a different kind of walking away. And that's the walking away when you are actually sitting right there with somebody and emotionally abandoning them. Just absolutely leaving them. Whew. Everyone needs to be seen, to be heard, and to be understood. To sum all that up, there's one word, and it's called validation. Everybody needs to be validated. So if you would love to help someone out of their yuck, when you say, oh, you know what, just count your blessings, just see all the good things that are happening, like that'll make you feel better, or keep your chin up. Just keep your chin up. You're such a good person. Or like I said, the sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah, when you're really, really struggling, it just sucks. It just sucks. So there was a gentleman in one of my classes who, one of the things that we do in the Uniting Year Relief class is we look around for joy. Like, where can we find moments that are joyful? Anywhere around. Now, joy is not like elation. Like, it's not that everything's okay, rose-colored glasses, all that. It can be just joy. Like right now, if I'm aware, the breeze that is coming at me is not cold. It's just this really nice, gentle touch on my skin. So there's a sensation. And I actually really like that feeling. That would be a moment of joy. Breathe it in, can feel it. Well, this gentleman got on and said, I don't have any joyful moments. I can't even. He's newly divorcing, not divorced, newly divorcing. His 5-year-old lost it yesterday, and this dad did not know what to do for him. Kid just totally lost it, broke a door. Dad's trying not to kill the kid. He lost it. And when he went to go deliver his kids back, he went to go take them back to their moms. There was a gentleman there who had slept overnight, and the divorce is not final. And he expressed, not in a blubbering kind of dumping way, he just let us know he's just feeling like crap. And he's overwhelmed, and he's lonely. Now, in most situations, it would be comfort. Oh, you're such a good person. Your kids are lucky to have you. I'm sure that you're going to figure this out. Your little boy is just lucky that he's got both parents to love on him. All of that completely negates what he's actually feeling. The loneliness. Question, is it okay for a man, newly divorced, with 4 little kids, who goes over to where his wife is living, she's left, and regardless of the reasons why, is it okay for him to feel alone and overwhelmed and confused and even betrayed? Absolutely. So when he said, I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't have any joy right now, I could have rushed in with, well, the class is all about trying to lift your spirits and change your mind. So, just lean in and look for your joy. In my past, that is what I would do. That silver lining, the Pollyanna, shows faith. Let's just be faithful. I am not negating, and most of you guys know this, my faith in Jesus Christ is deep. And I totally understand that he is the healer and he is the one. But in that moment, it's not appropriate. The reality is that sucks. That sucks. And I bet you're overwhelmed. Your kid punched a hole in the wall and you're trying to control your own anger while he's expressing all his, and everything in the world has been turned upside down and backwards. And then all hope is dashed when you see this gentleman at your wife, who we haven't signed the divorce papers thing. That sucks. That is validating. Now, some days, guys, some days we just can't find the joy. Can I tell you what I do? Some days I just can't even go there. It's almost like I've got rebellion against joy. It's like, no, I'm not going to be happy. I need people to know. I need to sit in my own crap for a minute and go, but I'm human. And I get to whine and I get to fuss and I get to be pissed about my life right now. Like, I get to do that. So what I say, because I know it's not good to go down the rabbit hole into depression. I experience depression, all forms. I'll talk about that in a second, but I experience depression. So I know that I can touch what I'm feeling, acknowledge it. But if I go into all of the reasons and I chew it up and I get into like a mental diatribe, a mental just mulling it all over, then I can go down a rabbit hole and I can get taken out for quite some time. So I touch it. Yep, today sucks. And so what I do, I cannot find the joy. Instead I'll go, okay, what didn't suck today? Because today sucks. So what didn't suck? Oh, that light did not turn red. I gotta go straight through that light. That didn't suck. Or my keys were actually in my purse this morning. That didn't suck. So I'm wondering, what can you think of that did not suck today? I will tell you mine. Today, I actually got out of the house in a time period so that I could be in the neighborhood before I started, and I got on pretty close to time. So that didn't suck. The sun is not out, but it's warm. I'm in a short sleeve shirt. That didn't suck, right? What doesn't suck for you today? What's happening that just didn't suck? I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying breathe it in, count the blessing, just what didn't suck today. So that has really, really helped me. That doesn't suck. Okay, as far as sitting with someone who is really, really, really struggling. First of all, don't think you're cool enough to help them. You can stand as a witness to what's going on with them, but you're gonna need some extra help. So if you pray and say, Lord, I would like to stand with them. I don't want to absorb or take on their pain, because then we're both in pain and nothing good comes from that. So also, will you help me in this moment know what to say to them? How do I validate? So here are some validating phrases, guys. Wow, that's really discouraging. Or, that's a bummer. Yep. But it's not even I'm so sorry, because one of the things about so sorry is it's almost like you're owning their pain. I'm so sorry. That I have heard before. That is unfortunate. I love that so much, because so many times sorry means I wish I could do something. I'm taking ownership over your stuff. You don't need to do that. Guys, we're gonna have to know how to do the, well, that didn't suck more. It's important to know that you can feel something and that other people can feel something. So being able to stand with somebody and go, this is really, really a thing. You're kind of in that mess, right? I see it. What do you need from me? Like, how can I support? I want to give you a secret that will help all of you women and any men who are watching this. Do this with your spouse, will you please? sing it mode is all the positive. Yay! Do the positive, do the positive, do the positive. We don't need that sometimes. We just need to be seen and heard in our yuck. So, if you need to talk to somebody, including your husband, and you go, hey, today's one of those sucky days. So if you're willing, I need to talk, and then send him a picture, an emoji of a bucket. A bucket. Because then he knows, oh, I'm not supposed to encourage. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm just supposed to sit and listen and go, oh, honey, that's really rough. I'm so sorry you're experiencing this. Do you know how validating that is? Can you imagine? Just, girls, let's just sit for a minute. You have a thing, and you tell your husband, and they don't go like this, or stonewall. You know that face, that stonewalling face? And they just sit there because they're gonna get in trouble if they leave, but you know that they're not listening because they can't emotionally like hold the bucket. So you gotta teach them, look, this is what happens when I throw up. You grab my ponytail and you hold this bucket. And if you want hazmat material on, you know, you go for that. But if you need to pass the bucket, then you say, today, I can't hold the bucket. Let's find somebody who can hold your bucket. Oh my gosh. I have a group of friends, we call it the Bucket Brigade. It's great. And then if you actually are going, you know, I wonder what to do about this. Like I kind of need some guidance. Like I need another set of eyes and I need some brainstorming. Send your husband or person you're talking to an emoji of a hammer. Need to talk to you, hammer. Then it's like, oh, I get in and fix it. I need to talk to you, bucket. Okay, hazmat material on before I show up today in their presence. I can hazmat this. I can throw the bucket. What I'm supposed to do is just say, that's really discouraging. That's really rough. It's too bad you're going through this. Okay, I've got this. I've got this. What? Like we really can validate each other, you guys. We can allow each other the experience of being human and feeling. We can do that. It's possible. Disappointment because of expectations is huge. If somebody is always in that negative, a lot of times it's because nobody is willing to hear them. Now let me tell you why. Those of you who feel like nobody hears you, it's important to regulate, not isolate. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It's important to regulate, not isolate. And what regulating is speaking what you are feeling without giving it to somebody else. It's not speaking. Because your energy of wanting somebody to come for you is going to come through. So if you go, I'm going to see myself first. I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I feel inadequate. I feel guilty. I feel ashamed. And not make yourself wrong for any of that. You got to see you first. And then when you talk to somebody, you can say, yeah, I feel just really guilty about this situation. I don't know what to do about it. I feel really lonely. But it's not like I feel lonely and so therefore you need to hear my loneliness and you need to fill it up. That's the difference, guys. If you need to speak, please speak. Find people that know how to hold the bucket. Okay? The person holding the bucket doesn't have to eat the throw up. There's a thought. Just say, are you able to hold a bucket for me? And keep it in your space, keep it in the bucket. This is what's going on with me. And pick people who have the ability to hear. If you would love more of this emotional regulation training, I got you. It's what I specialize in. I specialize in honoring what you feel. I specialize in helping you know how to handle other people's feelings, how to validate, how to communicate. Had a very, very cool moment last night as my husband and I went to bed. there was something in the routine that didn't happen normally, and he was just kind of laying there and didn't roll over or do what he normally does, just laying there. And I said, "Hey, you okay?" And he said, "I'm processing some things." I have never heard that. I've never heard him say that before. I am processing some things. I'm trying to work some things out. I don't know if he said processing. I think he said, "I'm trying to work some things out." And he says, "Maybe I'll be able to talk to you tomorrow about it." I was so appreciative. He can feel the rumblings in the tummy, but he's not ready to throw up yet. And he's keeping it to himself to go, what part of this is mine? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? So that he can share and communicate with me. It was a beautiful moment, and I was grateful. Kind of threw me off. I really wanted to just make it all better and have him talk to me and tell me what's wrong so that I can fix it, and I didn't. I honored what he said, which is he let me know something is up and he wants to keep it until he can figure it out a little bit. That's very different than just the fussing, showing me that he's upset but not knowing how to tell me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So, before we have the conversation, I am going to ask, do you just need me to hear you? Do you need me to offer suggestions? Where are we today? Do you need a bucket? Do you need a hammer? I can say, that sucks. I understand how frustrating that is. I don't have any ability to respond in a way that's going to make you feel good. I'm just really glad you shared. That's validation. Thank you for letting me in. Thank you for letting me hold your bucket and trusting me. I see that it sucks. Guys, when that happens, you're able to go, oh, okay, it's out. Remember when you throw up, you kind of feel a little bit better, even if you're kind of weak? The weakness is called vulnerability hangover. When you share and it's out of you, and you know somebody else has got it, like in a bucket. And it's okay. It still feels better, right? Even after you throw it up, you kind of feel a little bit better. You get a little reprieve. It's the same thing emotionally. And it's okay. It's totally okay. So, that's it for today. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.